Hello everyone, this is Moshe the Electric Israeli, and today's subject is car fires. How lovely, huh? Hey. Anyway, before I start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell so you can get notifications every time a video comes out so you don't miss anything. And don't forget to support my channel by becoming a patron. I thank you all my patrons, you're awesome. And before I even talk about car fires, I want to relate it to something else. Look, the electric car revolution is not unique to any other revolution that happened in human history. Whenever there's something new, there's going to be a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters, a lot of enemies. This is nothing new. King Solomon the Great said there's nothing new under the sun. All right? So I don't, it's a background noise. Having said that, people who are against electric cars and everything that electric mobility represent are going to find excuses. They have their motives. They are against this. They don't like change. Big oil, politicians, you name it. What difference does it make? There are people and agencies and businesses like that they feel this is a threat to them. Instead of joining it and advancing it and make a lot of money off of it, if you talk about business, they decide to find excuses and whatever. So I remember when just to give you an example, when Tesla just started building the supercharging network, and this reporter, I think it was from the New York Times, but I don't remember for sure, took a trip and he was almost running out of juice, and his fingers and toes were frozen, and electric cars are stupid and you cannot charge anywhere. Well, today we know what happened. You can charge, you can travel across the United States with a Tesla anywhere, and also the rapid charging network is growing and growing. Not as fast as I hope it would have, but it is. It takes time, but it is. So the next thing that the naysayers and the enemies say is, electric cars are dangerous. They catch on fire. It's like when the cell phones came. Cell phones, it's always some people who do that. Okay, so let's look at one of the most cruel things in human history, and these are numbers. Numbers, they're cruel because they don't lie. So, according to the United States National Fire Prevention Agency, there is something like that. They've been tracking car fires, all car fires, including arson, all throughout the United States for all kinds of reasons. And cars, and I'm talking about trucks and motorcycles, anything that has two wheels and more and an engine, okay, for the past 37 years. And they been tracking this, and they came to some conclusions that today's cars are by far more safer than ever before. So that's understandable. Listen, every year things are much better. Cars are more efficient. They're also more complex. You used to take your car to a mechanic. Now you take your car to a technician. You have to have a PhD to work as a mechanic. Anyhow, so the cars are much safer. Having said that, the 2015, for example, they were by 2015 there are 260 million cars in America. And the ratio there were 174,000 car fires. That all cars, electric and not electric, everything, all cars. That's how many fires it was. And there were about 454 people killed as a result of these car fires. Now, those of you who've been drivers, if you've been driving a lot, not a lot, for a long time, you've probably seen a car fire. I've seen several. It's very unfortunate. It's like a car accident. You've seen one before. It's part of life. What can you do? And basically, the ratio came to one car fire per 1,511 vehicles. A Swedish research who just focused on Tesla, for example, found that Tesla car fires are 1 to 20,000. Now, why am I bringing it up? Because there was a parked Tesla car that caught on fire. It belonged to some British filmmaker, I think. So now, obviously, this is not a good comparison. It's really apples to oranges. It's not. But I can assure you that the ratio for car fires between regular cars, combustion engine cars, and electric cars is not even close in terms of safety. Now, understandably so, a car that carries gasoline has thousands of moving parts and sparks and plugs and all these things that have to work together so perfectly. A little leak in the fuel or anything like that can ignite a fire. You are basically burning something inside. Now, to create a fire in a battery pack, in a car battery pack, I'm not talking about the Samsung phones. A car battery pack is very protected and shielded, and to puncture it and to cause fire there is very difficult, really very, very difficult. And usually electric car fires happen during charging, when there's bad connection or maybe moisture or something like that, or short. And you say, I'm not a chemist or a technician. I'm an Old Testament teacher, okay? But you see the numbers don't lie. The ratio between regular cars and electric cars fire 1-2 is just exponentially greater in favor of the electric car, right? So is it possible? Yes, it's possible. You see it happens when it happens, but it's by far less. And as time continue and technology continue to improve, both in electric cars and in regular combustion cars, the safety of those cars are by far, I mean, listen, in my lifetime, again, I'm not talking about 150 years ago, in my lifetime, we used to not have seat belts. There were no seat belts. There were no, airbags. If you think about airbags, you think that is something that's been around forever. And so, it's not. It really isn't. It's what? Airbags maybe 20, 25 years, that's it. Not even. So all these safeties and all these technologies and all these improvements are just making almost every product more safer and better and more efficient and all that. But if you take what you got now and what you one next to the other, to create a car fire in an electric car is really difficult. In a regular car, it's not that difficult. You have a nice fuel in the tank, ready to be ignited. Okay, so is it 100%? Nothing is 100%. Nothing. I mean, all of the experiments that are done now with the autonomous cars are having to do with the idea of humans should not be driving. Humans should not be driving. Humans make mistakes. All right, so the idea that in our lifetime you will not be able to get a driver's license, it will be illegal, that everything is going to be autonomous and automated, is completely not far-fetched, completely tangible and all that. I mean, Tesla in a few months from now is going to have full autonomous cars. Will they be allowed to drive with the legal part? I'm not sure, but is it going to that direction? Yes. Are there going to be accidents? Yes. It's part of life, but it's by far better. That's my point. That's my point. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm sure I missed a lot of information, so you can totally share it in the comments and enlighten everybody, our awesome community. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Help me change the world one electric car at a time, and become my patron and help the Electric Israeli channel. Thanks, everybody.